Hello, everyone. This is episode 43 of the Justin Files podcast. I'm a member of the Broken Jars Network. Today, we have some news about Jim's Phoenix Comic Con schedule has been announced. It's going to be from Wednesday, May 24th to Sunday, May 28th of 2017. And he's got a bunch of events, and you can check out his website if you want to catch him. Just, be aware. You can maybe catch him at Phoenix. We have a guest today named Thomas, and he kind of invaded us before, but we caught him in time and made him stop. So, Thomas, introduce yourself to us by telling us your favorite 3 books and your favorite character.
All right. My favorite 3 books, I'm going to start with Changes, because right around the time I started reading this book was when I found out I was going to be a dad. So I kind of resonated with Harry a lot with, the things he was feeling and all that. And then I'm going to go with Skin Game, just because I really liked the idea of it, as well as I just kind of like the Ocean's 11 series anyway. And then my third favorite book, I'm going to go with Proven Guilty, just because of the whole, is it necessarily a bad thing to be killing these kids who don't really have the guidance? And as for my favorite character, I'm going to go with Leah.
Yeah! I think you're the first person to agree with me.
Have we had a guest pick Ebenezer yet? Because
Yes, Ebenezer's.
Yeah, I think there was one.
So why Leah?
Just the fact, first of all, I mean, she's the fairy godmother, and I mean Jim's twist on that, I guess, or spin or whatever. I think that's kind of funny. And then the scene with her and Mouse and Changes, just I love that. I'm going to rip your ass off. And she's like, you can't do that. You're nowhere near your source of power.
I live with a wizard. I cheat.
Yes.
Yeah, it's great. I love that everybody near Harry develops a little bit of the snark, even his dog.
Oh, yes.
So.
Of course, his dog. I mean, Mouse snarks at him even without being able to speak.
Right.
So.
Yes.
Right. Well, this episode is a little strange because we've done no prep work for it, because we just have this discussion topic floating in the air. Because we've kind of been kicking it around for a while. Yes, we're probably going to fight. What would make you stop reading the series?
I just want to preface this with saying there's probably nothing that's going to make me want to stop reading, but I can talk about stuff that would really, really make me angry. But I really want to know what's going to happen. So I think no matter what, I'll be like, I gotta. I'm how many books are out now? I'm so deep into this series that how will I ever really not go on? Right.
That would truly make me stop reading the series, and it's
Bad
if
rules?
Jim never finishes it.
Right.
Yeah.
I think the idea is so Jim disappears for a week and gets replaced with Evil Jim or Mirror Jim or Puppet Master Jim or whatever.
I thought Puppet Master Evil Jim was the current one we have.
Well, there's that too, but the guy who shaves, and so good Jim. I don't know. I guess if there was no conflict with that.
Wait, Harry will get a happy ending? No, I'm out. No.
Right? See, there you go. That was easy.
Harry gets a hat.
No. Have you seen my? No, I don't know if you go on Reddit. Have you seen my flare?
Yeah.
Firmly anti-hat.
Right. So to get the director's goat early, I was going to tell her that if every book was some reference or some homage to Ghost Story, that would probably get me to stop reading it. So.
Ghost Story's a good book. I mean, there's a ton of things that's important in that.
And I've been telling people that. So my boss came out this week and was like, "Have you read this?" He's like, "Yeah, well, I read the first 3 books." And does he mostly just get his ass kicked every book? And it's like, well, yeah, but there's more. So
it's how he gets his ass kicked,
right?
And his ass wasn't really kicked in Ghost Story. It kind of broke the mold there. It was just his spirit that got kicked.
He has to have an ass to get kicked, but yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know, when the Lemurs got him down and was eating him and Bob saved him, that's kind of getting your ass kicked.
But it's not really his ass, because his ass was on Demon Reach.
Metaphorical ass.
Metaphorical ass, yeah. Like
metaphorical,
with
that's the operative word there.
So, but I mean,
so
actually, speaking of what could make me stop reading, what annoys me about Dresden Files, what make me stop reading, it won't actually make me stop reading. But I got Justin posted on Facebook that it's been 3 years since the last book.
Yep.
And I was like,
May 27th. So I think next week exactly is when he put out Skin Game. So
I was like, that just can't be true. It's not been 3 years,
right?
How long has the podcast been going then?
It's like a little less than that.
Yeah, I think we're 2, aren't we? So
I think so. But I remember we did the math once. It's like, oh, yeah, Skin Game came out like a couple months before we started. Ow.
Right.
Yeah, but 3 years, Jim. 3. I'm just saying, a man who hasn't posted a new book in a book series that's very popular. If you're ever watching, just look at me here, and you post where you're going for cons. I mean, that seems like a security failure to me. It just seems dangerous, you know. There are disgruntled people out there.
Yeah. Someone should alert Phoenix Comic-Con that there's a disgruntled Dane that's gonna arrive and have very strong words with Jim.
No. I'll wait till he comes on again. I'll give him a piece of my mind.
Yeah, but he said he'd do that after Peace Talks comes out.
It's never gonna happen.
Yeah, I mean the problem is, so like on the one hand, there is the part of me that would be like, I could be that guy at Comic-Con, but then I'm like, I would take out every fan between me and there just to make sure that he finishes writing Peace Talks at this point. So especially after going back through like Even Hand and some of the other things we discussed last time. So update on that. P.S. The Jotuns are called out by Guard that they're totally cousins, so the Fomor. So we discussed that offline. But yeah, I mean, so let's see. Things that would make you stop reading the series. Would you stop reading the series if his joking synopsis of Peace Talks was what he says it is, which everybody got together and had tea and everything was fine, and then nothing happens? Would that be enough?
I don't know. I might enjoy just the trolling. That's such a strong troll. I might just find it funny.
Can you imagine 3 years and then we had like a 100-page essay about a tea party?
I'm thinking like Dresden Files version of the Mad Hatter's Tea Party. Like it'd still be interesting enough, but it would never happen. So
that would give us the good joke about Harry running to be somewhere because he's late.
Right.
Ooh.
I mean,
I hope that's a reference.
If I can just, if that story would include the confrontation between Ebenezer and his other grandchild Thomas,
oh yeah,
I'll probably take it. I'll be like, okay, fine. It was 100 pages. It was just about tea, but they talked shit out. I got what I wanted.
You're gonna cry. That. I mean, here it is. So Ebenezer, he's tough. He's all about being hating on vampires, and then he finds out that he's gonna be what is it? A great grandpa because of again. So he just stares at Thomas and grips his staff real tight, and he's like, you just think he's about to unload, and then he starts to tear up a little bit and hugs him. You'd cry, it.
He's like, "Come here, boy," and he hugs him. Yeah.
So,
or if you call
that's
Thomas,
not a bad guess for what would happen. I think.
Right.
Yeah.
After you get past some yelling, there's got to be some yelling, and maybe some sparks.
I mean, it can't be. It's not Thomas's fault. He's a vampire, and he's.
But.
No, but it's going to be Thomas's fault when he ends up being the White King.
He's not going to be the White King.
That's totally going to happen, man.
It's never happening.
Yeah. No, it's going to happen.
No, it's never
Thomas is going to take up Amarachius and then do something.
Yeah, that's what's happening.
Right,
he's taking up the Sword of Love. It's going to kill his demon, and he's going to be a Sword of the Cross. And that would be awesome.
In order for him to be the White King, one of two things has to happen. Either Laura has to wind up in pieces somewhere, or you're going to have to see Thomas and Laura get it on, and I'm really confused about why I'm so excited about that right now. So,
I mean, I already feel awkward about the scene with Laura and her dad, and I was like, Yeah, I was like, "You go, girl." And I was like, "Wait, I'm not. Wait, what's happening here?"
Right? Yeah. So,
Okay, let's just take a step back.
No, but here's the thing, though. If Laura gets exposed or the White King gets killed in the next book, either way, Laura's going to be out. And if I remember right, didn't Jim say that because of the way Thomas was starving his demon, that makes him much more powerful in the long run or something?
Well, maybe, but it's also flipped. Like I don't recall hearing that either. But I mean, he's not starving it anymore. Justine is seen to that, and that's why pregnant. So, but
yeah, I think there was just in the backup that Justine said that his demon is more powerful than others, like Lara's is too, and that's why it hurts him more to be around Justine than it would like for anyone else, even if they were in love. But I know, back to our kind of topic of what would make you stop reading, is that I've heard people say if Maggie dies, they'd stop reading.
The little girl?
Yeah.
Dresden's kid? Yeah. Sorry, we have to, there's like 8 Margarets, so. That's
why there's Maggie.
I got it. I know what would thank you for saying that. So here it is. This is going to go completely off the rails. So what would get me to stop reading is that the reason why Cowl is familiar is because he's his brother. And so they get in this fight, right? And they talk and they taunt and their magic is the same. And then he's like, for some reason somebody mentions Margaret. And then Harry's like about to get him. And he's like, why did you say that? Why did you say that name? And then that's how they find out, I wouldn't read the series anymore if they Batman versus Superman that. So...
I mean, I didn't have a problem with that in the movie, to be honest. I didn't really care. It didn't annoy me.
It's so bad. It's so bad.
It was bad, yeah.
Yeah, I tell people, like, it's okay that this happens in real life, but this is not, like, the superhero story plotline. Like, I'm sorry. It's just like, what? Your mom's name is my mom's name, too.
Did they not do any research on each other at all?
The world's greatest detective, foiled by his mom's name. So,
Ben Affleck did play Batman. I will say though, like that aside, I think he played the role well.
He did surprisingly well in the. Yeah, I mean, we could digress on that, but seriously, so if
I'm just hedging in case he's watching our podcast.
Oh yeah, there you go. Well, hey, if anybody famous, like is watching the show, you should totally hit us up because we'll go buy T-shirts and then give you one. So
you can totally be on this podcast if you want.
We've got stickers.
We have stickers. I'm excited for stickers.
Right.
Yeah, I can understand. Like, it seems like Maggie can't be, now that you've brought up Batman Lois Lane, she can't be the thing that's always in trouble. I would get really annoyed with that. It still would work, and I'd probably still read it, but I would just start getting annoyed with the repetitiveness. Also, he can't keep having babies.
Speaking of repetitiveness, isn't it getting a little old that his case is now always Map saying, do this? Well,
and so that... Sure, but there's going to be conflict. I think he's going to shake that up. So on the Maggie thing, I think Jim probably knew that at least subconsciously, and that's why he put her with the Carpenters where, like, not even Nicodemus can get to them. Like, the only reason why Michael got involved is because he literally, physically, and chose to leave the safety of the house, So, like, it would basically take some form of apocalypse probably, and even then, I'm not sure. So he's probably aware of that and won't fall into that trap. But like the whole Mab do my bidding thing, like I think we're going to see that start to fray a little bit in peace talks, because that's one of the things that I'm curious about is that peace talks, like if you've read the first chapter, spoilers for those who haven't, seriously spoilers, like Ramirez comes to Harry. Mab didn't say, come do this thing. And it's like, well, wait a minute. Mab kind of gets dibs. Like, that's how that works now. And yet Ramirez is coming to him as a member of the White Council for help running White Council security. which is a little interesting. And so it's like, is that because it's being hosted in the mortal realm, and so the mortal, like the authorities, the wizards are in charge of that, or what's the deal? So
I don't remember if this was ever explicitly stated, but I got the impression that maybe something that Priscilla said, that Mab and or Leah is just going to be a little absent, and it's going to be very conspicuous as to why.
Okay.
So Harry's going to be, without being told by Mab what to do, he's going to have to figure it out on his own.
Nice.
And that's going to be some of the conflict.
Right.
But I don't remember if that was stated explicitly.
Right. And along those lines, I don't think Mab is going to be the one that sends him on his mission for Mirror Mirror. I think he's going to step on a landmine, so to speak, or something else, and he's going to wind up in this. Like, I think he's going to go kicking and screaming. You know, like his mirror self is going to trap him and drag him in there somehow. You know.
Yeah.
So
we're kind of breaking the mold if everything goes as that, because I had that idea too. I just like, of course, it's going to be invading and it's not like go do something.
Right.
But a thing that would really irritate me is if that fairy child, the third child, has to come true thing. Like if it's either like Harry and Mab or Mab and Slade, or it's like, you know, he gets another child to take care of.
Say it, because that was going to be one of the things that I brought up was, so fairy child means that gives freaking Molly shippers something to hold on to. That ship is sailed. It's done. I'm sorry, Alex. It's gone, man.
It's gone, man.
Yeah, it never was there. I don't think. It's just
right.
We all know Murphy will die, and he'll end up with his one true love. Once they move past their
no, because I mean, shit. I'm not like vehement about it or anything like that, but I think he is going to wind up with Murphy, and I think they are going to have another kid, because 3 kids sounds like a thing.
He's
and
old to have another kid.
He's like, only 40.
40 something. That's too late.
No. And it doesn't matter. Magic and Murphy's hot, and let's make it happen. So, to quote Spider-Man 2, probably, actually, it's like, you're a good man, I'm a good woman. So that's Harry's smoothness right there.
I kind of think that when Harry and Murphy kind of line up, it's that Murphy is a little too old and the world is just too chaotic for her to be pregnant.
Yeah.
Because that's so debilitating. And that's kind of the heartbreaking thing, because in Proven Guilty, she rejected him because she wanted kids. And now he has the kids and she doesn't. Yeah.
That is like, interesting.
That's the way I think that he will go with it. I
mean, he's already got 2 kids within a few years. How many more kids can a man just like have sprung on him?
I think Murphy's going to retire. She's going to be a cute little housewife and homemaker.
So. Housewife? I mean,
that might put her back in her mom's good graces, though.
Right.
An apron, maybe.
That won't actually make me stop reading. But, oh boy, would that be out of character? Like, wow.
But out of character is exactly why Harry and Molly will never happen. It is just never going to be in Harry's character. And if that does happen, I will be very, very angry.
I will stop reading.
Yeah. Really? Truly?
Maybe. I mean, that would really piss me off. That's really out of character.
Because he carries such a torch for Lucio that it might just destroy him, and you know he'll just have
They were so cute together. Like, it made me happy when I read those scenes. I want more of that.
You're gonna be so happy when Harry and Murphy are together.
No, it's not the same. Lucio had spunk.
So does Murphy.
Not the same. She's not a fiery Italian.
There you go. That's
You're
what it is.
upset
so
that Murphy's Irish instead of Italian?
Now we know what your type is. Do you want to go on a trip to Italy? So find you some nice fiery Italian wizardess.
If you're offering a trip, I'm not gonna say no to a trip to Italy. Let's go. So like a con we can go to or something as an excuse?
But sure, whatever. I mean, they've got to have conventions there, right? So
I don't know. I know they have magic tournaments there. That's about it.
That's a close second.
But if Harry and Molly ever happened, I would be very, very angry because every single time it's been suggested in the books, he always turns it down because of Michael, because he's just squicked out the fact that she's so younger than him when he met her, and he just doesn't love her. Not like that. That's exactly what he said in Cold Days. And if all of that gets broken, it's such a bad character break. I'd be like, what other principles is he just going to throw out? I would be very upset with that.
I don't know. I could maybe see it in like the last book.
No,
because at that point it's like another 10 years or so. The age difference isn't very big anymore.
He got it on with a half vampire. He got it on with an angel. Then he's going to get it on with a half fairy. Like he's totally, yeah, it fits.
It's just playing the field.
With a full fairy.
Do what?
He did do it with a full fairy.
Well, yeah, but that's more different and special. And really,
like
actually, that
thunderstorm.
It's good you bring that up because there's his third kid anyway. So Mab's going to make him fight evil Harry Jr. So
there's no third kid.
Because fairies have 100%. They're 100% fertile. That's why you don't stick it in Crazy Fairy because they're going to have your kid. So, book 1920, book 20. There you go. Evil Harry Jr. That's what that one is. So we got. So
is that Nicodemus kidnapped baby Harry Jr.?
Nah, they're working together. So he thinks he's kidnapped, but then he finds out he's really in on it the whole time. So we got 16 is Peace Talks. We got 17 is Mirror Mirror. We got 18 is Wrestling because reasons. We got 19 is got to be Dragons then. And then 20 is Nicodemus and Harry Jr. for the win. Come on, Apocalypse.
That would be where Leah comes in. Right?
How's this? As a twist on what you said, Justin, what if Cowl is Harry's son?
Bum, bum,
not his brother.
So his
son,
time-traveling son.
Time-traveling
son.
Yeah.
So, but who's Komori in that then?
Maggie.
Oh, his kids.
It's like the opposite of Darth Vader.
I am your son.
I'm your son. No, that's not possible. Wow.
You heard it here first, guys.
Right. Yeah, right. Yeah. It's one of those, it's like, man, that's a bummer because that would be weird and neat, and yet there's still no evidence for it whatsoever. Like, that's why the Cowl thing is so tantalizing, because it's like, how do I know you? You know, it's like the classic, like, were we like roommates in college? Are you like the freshman's boyfriend, sister's roommate's third cousin's dog walker?
I mean, we know who Cowl is. So.
Well,
we know.
Everyone who's reasonable believes that it's Simon Petrovich, but we have no proof.
Whatever. It's Justin DeMorn.
No proof to support anything else.
Tote Simon.
I'll be so smug when that's proven true.
Right.
I'll go back to episodes and moments like this and be like, yeah, I fucking said it. I said it.
Right. When's the reveal for that one?
I don't really know.
I'm just saying, we're predicting the next 4-5 books, so
I'm going to go with Mirror Mirror
when we don't get a book for 3 years.
Mirror Mirror, because everybody who wears a mask isn't wearing a mask, and it's like, well, wait a minute, aren't you Cowl? What? I don't know what you're talking about. Like, all of the secret identities get revealed because.
No, I'm just going to go with Evil Harry's going to be an ally of Cowl. So.
Ooh, I like it. Okay.
And we know that things are connected to Bianca's party, and Cowl and Komori were there. So, of course, they got to show up in Mirror Mirror, right?
Hold on.
Yeah.
So, the billion-dollar question, then, is in Mirror Mirror, in the Mirror Universe, why didn't the... I was going to say Darkhold. I've been watching Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., but why didn't the Dark Hallow happen? Because if Harry and Cowl are playing for the same team, how did they prevent that? Because otherwise, why would he need to fake his own death, and therefore, why is Mirror Mirror... Take that, Jim. You thought you were going to get book 16 done. You'll never even get 17 off the ground.
I think you're going to give
us. I'm watching right now. Shit, they got me.
Right? No, don't do it. I'm sorry. I take it back.
Don't Game of Thrones.
Another thing that would sincerely annoy me, since basically at this point we're just talking about whatever conspiracies would get proven true that we'd be annoyed about. is if Mac is like Jesus or the white god or an
He's
angel.
not gonna be the white god.
That
Because
just a
that's
little
ridiculous.
too supernatural for me. Be like,
Yeah.
Hey, why is
who-
he supernatural? Hey, Chuck is cool.
yeah, the guy who writes
It
the
makes-
books, that's God.
It makes so much sense for him to be Dagda. Da. I don't know.
Dada?
That guy.
He's
Something
Harry's
like that.
dad?
Papa?
Yeah, right.
Oh god.
Man, that one scene where I meet Harry's dad. Can we have some more of that? That was kind of sweet.
Right.
Was that
Um,
that monster in his head? Like, there's like they hear some monster out in the woods.
The
Was
Jabberwock?
that not Lashiel then? Like, didn't he have Lashiel in his head but didn't know it yet?
He did, yeah. I don't know necessarily that
I
the
don't-
Jabberwocky was Lashiel, but she was definitely in his head at the time.
Yeah, and or it could have just been other things that were like trying to attack him from spirit world, like happened in Grave Peril. We don't really know for certain. I don't think.
Right.
I was thinking it was
Just that
Lashiel.
Malcolm was there.
All of it. I think remember
Totally
that,
could be.
that it was Lashiel and he didn't know she was there yet.
I think it was implied because it was definitely in
Deadbeat.
Deadbeat, yeah, because he had
Just
just
when we
met
find out
Sheila
about it.
at the bookstore. And that's why his dad was capable of
Mhm.
contacting him, is because somebody else, quote unquote, had broke the law or whatever.
Yeah, right.
Cross
right,
the line.
Yeah. Totally. That's right.
I mean, it makes perfect sense, but we don't have like proof.
We don't need
My paranoia is
proof,
like-
whatever.
No, not anymore. Apparently, this episode.
Right?
Well,
I mean, really, this
Other
is like the
things that would-
mirror episode of Us, where it's like, we hate the Dresden Files. Let's go home. You know, no. So, I mean, that's kind of what's implied in the topic. Is like, tell us all the things you hate and would never read again.
I'll make a better Dresden Files with blackjack and hookers.
Actually, I mean, that'd just be the same, wouldn't it?
Pretty much. It'd be
there's
like
no
going to the.
hookers. I mean,
Oh, whatever.
Harry-
If you listen to the feminists, all Dresden does is look at hookers all day. So,
Yeah, he
There was a
objectifies
hooker
all
in
women.
Deadbeat.
well,
I
also,
mean, sure, there are hookers, but Harry doesn't get lucky
Stormfront.
with any hookers.
Oh, no.
yeah.
Harry doesn't get lucky.
Ever.
There you go. Would you stop reading if he stopped being Charlie Brown and he started just be like, "Huh, I win again"? Like every book is the
Well-
lottery.
In Skin Game, he did get a pile of diamonds.
Yeah.
Well, he could have gotten so many more diamonds, and he was cheated out of $2 million. Totally unlucky.
But he still got a pile of diamonds, which is like he's no longer broke,
There you go.
which is a huge
Book
change.
16. He's been arrested by trafficking diamonds. So, where did you steal these diamonds from? So,
That would be hilarious.
The Vault of Hades? Because we know he's going to say the fucking truth, right?
right.
I want one of those diamonds to be Murphy's wedding ring, or maybe all of them.
Oh.
That's I
Yeah.
just threw up a little bit in my mouth. That was so sweet.
Can you see that? I literally went to hell for this.
Right. Oh my god.
The hell I'm back. Oh, I'm so happy that I just came up with that.
That was good.
No. That was
I would also get really irritated if there were things like with the Merlin, like Harry's Merlin, Harry's time traveling Merlin, Maggie is Merlin.
There was a girl
If
Merlin.
any,
There was, yeah.
yes,
Yeah, we found that out.
but if there's like any of the Dresden characters that we know that were actually time traveling Merlin, I think I'd get really irritated. I want this guy to be like his own thing,
Yeah.
and we just hear about his escapades.
Like, what do you mean? Try saying that again. I was distracted.
Well, like I just want Merlin to be his own character. It's the own thing, not any of the other characters time traveling or anything.
The current Merlin or the original Merlin?
The original.
Original Merlin.
Oh, yeah. Well, yeah, I don't want no time travel. I just want him to be like some ancient wizard, to not someone who went to travel in time or something. Well, he did travel in time because we saw that, but not.
Did he really travel in time, or did he? Because I mean, the way Bob describes it is he was doing the same thing in several different times at the same time.
Well, you are if you time travel, because if you go to those different 4 times, you're doing the same thing at those 4 times.
No,
even though you aren't doing it at the same time.
Oh man, I'm gonna have to get you some YouTube videos on how the fourth dimension is supposed to work. So,
well, how's this? Whether or not he time traveled, he certainly folded time in ways it doesn't usually go, which would be breaking the law.
You guys are looking at it at a 3-dimensional perspective.
Yeah.
Really, you need to be looking at a 4th or 5th dimensional perspective.
I'm sorry, Mr. Mixon. Explain that to us.
Well, trying to think if it was CGP Cray or somebody else, some YouTuber who put out like this is what the other dimensions are supposed to look like and why they think there's an upper limit on 11 dimensions, because basically they just start describing things as like, you know, 1 dimension, for example, is like 1 point. 2 dimensions is 2 points. 3 dimensions, that's us. The 4th dimension is like all points over time. Like, so it's a 3-dimensional object at all points in time is what it is. So when you look at it in the 4th dimension, it's kind of like a centipede or a worm or whatever of you from all points in time. And so because you basically see like every second, every frame of that person in all of time. So that would be closer to what the Merlin did. And then the 5th dimension, it's something like all 3rd-dimensional points in all points in time, and then it starts to get multiversal and weird. And the video does a better job, but I'll see if I can get you a video link for it.
Well, your explanation
I knew some of those words.
Yeah,
like, time
is actually how he describes oracles, like the whatever her name was in Death Masks, forgot, and then like other types of like. Yes, and then like also in Proven Guilty. And just kind of like the hindsight, like you can't really mess with things because you change too much. And like say Olsharvas is like, if you change too much, you might stop existing. So
right.
That should sound a little familiar.
Yeah.
Addressing people.
I think the way I visioned it was like he shows up a Demon Reach on his timeline and then like opens a bunch of portals and sends his magic through them to the future. Like maybe not that's what actually happened, but just like in my head, that's what it looks like. So like he's in his time. And like he opens one portal to like 1,000 years in the future and another one to like 500 years or, you know, and then does everything at the same time so that his magic flows through to the future. Well,
and keep in mind that what was described to Harry was the stupid version of the stupid version because and that's why it's like, hey, did you not understand my multidimensional hypothesis? It's probably pretty close then because, you know, like what we understand of it from what Bob told Harry is next to nothing because it's already like 1% of 1%, you know? So, yeah. Yeah, so
maybe we would have understood it better if the Carrie Fisher, Jenna Jameson thing had happened.
The what?
When he was when Bob was describing it and Harry told him to get to the point and he's like, but I wrote this great scene with Carrie Fisher and Jenna Jameson.
Oh, yeah, right.
Because it's Bob.
Right.
Fucking Bob.
Wait a minute. I'm not supposed to not get the references.
This also that scene with Bob where he's like where Harry's pondering how real the people in the stories Bob read is to him, since he's a spirit of pure thought.
Right.
Would they not be as real to him as like things are to him? And then he looks over at Bob, who's like furiously tears this to the next page, and like, that's right, rip her clothes off.
Yeah.
Right. Okay, I'm going to shake this up a little bit because I just thought of a new take on this topic. So instead of what it would take to get you to not read the series like one giant event, we're going to do Dresden Files ruins everything. Is like, how can we ruin your favorite character? How can we ruin whatever? So my one, thinking about what we're talking about here is Bob, for example. Like if Bob had a body like the show, you know, so if they vision him, then
I'm okay with the way that he was done in the show because I realize that there's more like limitations with shows, and it was done by Terrence Spann and he was really fun.
Get out.
And they did have the limitation that he couldn't like get away from the skull by more than like 10 feet, which was a fun limitation to put on it.
I didn't think
he was still normal horny Bob.
Well, to be fair, other than when he's in, like possessing someone in the books, does he ever get very far away from the skull?
He can, as long as it's not light out.
It's mostly he's possessing someone, and it's mostly for his own protection because, that's why he goes in Mister, is to like get around faster and not get cooked, right?
Yeah.
So,
and he was kind of far away from the skull in Skin Game because Butters had the skull, and then he was off being the bull in Chicago.
Lion?
Was it? It was the bull, right?
Oh,
it was lion.
Yeah.
Okay.
It was a lion.
Yeah. The bull is in Chicago, but it is not that same thing that he did.
There's a bull in Wall
Chicago.
Street.
I'm going to be wrong. Oh, I'm probably mixing it up and someone's going to laugh at me.
Are you thinking of the Wall Street bull or whatever?
I don't remember. There's a giant bull in the city somewhere. I don't remember which city.
It's probably Wall Street.
Yeah, you're probably thinking the one with the giant bull and the little girl. So, because that one's been in the news a lot lately.
Yeah, and I just mixed up whichever one Bob got into. Oh, no.
It's supposed to be these giant lions outside, like the big library in Chicago or whatever. Like the
it could be. I'm sure they said. I don't remember though. So
it was something.
Hang on.
Library Chicago. I actually kind of want to see.
Lion Statue Chicago, Art Institute of Chicago is what comes up top. So.
Oh, yeah, it's probably this one.
He is big and majestic, so. See, look at that. We're famous authors. We just did some internet research and found out a thing. Now we can write about it in a book.
Yeah, that's how it works. See, you learned today, Alex, right? Now you know what to write in your not the Dresden Files, not totally Dresden Files book.
Shut up.
That was rude. Like twice.
It's not a ripoff, I swear.
It's not.
It's probably not any more of a ripoff than Dresden Files is a ripoff of What's Her Nuts. So,
Anita Blake.
Yeah, that one.
Nah,
I don't know.
From what I know of Anita Blake stuff, is that like it's fairly different, but
it's very different. Yes,
it's very different.
I've heard that it started out okay, and then she like starts boinking everything. Okay. So it turned into Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
I got it. That would make me stop reading. If Dresden Files took an Anita Blake turn, I would stop reading.
Okay.
I would actually stop reading.
Yeah.
It started off real good, and then she does start banging everything around, and it not even just like off screen, like it's almost like something Bob would enjoy reading.
Well, I stopped reading that series when in the first book there was a plot point she had to go to an orgy.
Yeah,
but sex magic is a thing.
It actually, there was some sex, and I take that's part for the course with paranormal urban fantasy. A lot of it makes oral paranormal romance, and if I like the genre, so I just got to take that as part of it.
Yeah, but Justin does it better.
Yeah.
I can't think of why she went to that party now. I completely blanked
Something
out.
Something to do to find information about
the French vampire, I think, or something like that.
Sure. I don't know. She had that broken guy with her that was like keep trying to have sex with everything because he didn't know what else to do in life.
Yeah,
that's way
started with a J.
I think.
So Thomas.
That's beyond book one. That's not book one, I think.
No, that's book one. It's like I tried to read the series because
it had the midget vampire, the little girl.
I actually got to six or seven before it got too much for me because it just got worse and worse.
It was actually book 9, I think, was when she started dating that guy that introduced her to tantric, whatever.
Okay.
I don't know.
Tantric vampire sex.
There's a lot of S&M in those books too, and it just got like more and more.
Yeah.
It really just detracted from what I liked because she was actually kind of like this badass paranormal detective thing, and that's what I enjoyed about it. And it just got more and more about the sex stuff and less about the crime solving and paranormal that part.
If I think about it, Dresden did end up going to an orgy to a certain extent because he went to 0, and then people were just having all sorts of things all over the place. But that wasn't the point of the scene, not exactly. Yeah. And it also made him feel weird, and then it was done, which was like, it wasn't the point of anything.
Except that it's a thing in the world, which is something you would expect in a world with white coat vampires to exist.
Yeah, so it was done, sort of. There was an orgy.
I think the difference is that in the Anita Blake series, she had to go to an orgy, whereas in the Dresden Files, that was where he was just kind of led there to meet somebody. It wasn't that he went to an orgy. It was, I've got to meet Justine, and she just happens to be here because it's a better cover.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. So it had purpose more so than it ever felt like it did in the Anita Blake book, whichever one I was reading. I was really sure I was reading the first one.
That was the first one, yeah.
Okay, good.
Be warned, Jim. I love you. I love your book. If you go Anita Blake on me, I mean, no bueno.
So what about musicals? If they did a Dresden Files musical,
I would love it.
Seriously,
I would love it too.
I love musicals, man. The Buffy episode that's a musical. I've watched it a lot. The Sweeney Todd movie so many times. Like, I would love to go to a musical on Broadway. I would.
You guys are weird.
I like musicals.
I don't know how much a musical would be good because Harry has stated that he can't carry a tune.
It doesn't matter.
That didn't
not be very nice.
There's some music spirit, like Dada. He totally infests everybody, and they have a party.
This sounds like the Buffy episode now.
No, I know. Yeah. So, I mean, look, I didn't say I was being original. I just said.
Okay, I have something that would piss me off. Is if Joss Whedon did the TV adaptation.
Oh,
I would love that.
Yeah,
I would watch it. Are you kidding?
I'd watch the hell out of it.
Tell you what,
great.
I vote Andreas for new director because if that happens, because you would probably just quit the podcast altogether and live the life of a hermit deep in the plateaus of Colorado.
Who doesn't like Joss Whedon? I love Joss Whedon.
Yeah.
I don't like Joss Whedon.
I know, you're sick.
There might be things that he's done that are good. I just haven't watched them because other things I have seen of Joss Whedon's were not very good.
Oh my God, you don't even know what you're talking about.
So,
Angel, Firefly. I mean, even Dollhouse is pretty decent.
Angel was better, but it still is just like
No, you don't get to say.
And I really disliked the Avengers movie that he was responsible for.
You're gonna. This is never. I'm gonna quit you, director. That's a business.
I know the problem I have with this is that you hate all the good stuff, so it's not like I'm going to win you over with Aliens Resurrection or whatever, and
I actually don't blame him for that one.
That screenplay was really good before people fucked with it. He actually made a good screenplay.
I know. I'm just saying, he's got credits on it, and that's not exactly going to help. So,
but I think it's very gracious of me to not blame him for that one.
Well,
I just disliked Avengers.
How can you not like Buffy and Angel? Fuck.
Angel was kind of fun, but Buffy I just really disliked. And I didn't watch too much of it because I disliked it.
How far did you watch?
The first season.
Oh my God.
The entire first season.
Yeah,
and
okay.
It's just
Watch one more. Just watch season 2.
Did you watch Cabin in the Woods?
No.
It's such a great movie.
Watch Cabin in the Woods.
Don't watch it or do?
Watch it. Please watch it.
He apparently did the screenplay for Titan AE.
I haven't seen that one. I should see that one.
You should. It's not bad.
That way, way long ago, and I don't remember almost anything about it. But I didn't. I'd be pissed off. That's
Have you seen Dr. Horrible's sing-along vlog?
So good. Neil Patrick Harris.
Seriously.
My total nerd crush.
Why are we even friends? No. Yeah. Now I'm getting personal.
Why don't you like good things? I want to.
I like good
usually
things.
I'm gonna be. Usually I take the piss out of
she does like the Dresden Files, so that does kind of save her. So.
It's Joss Whedon. My roommate doesn't really like Joss Whedon either, and it's just wrong. Wrong.
So here's my counter to your whole thing, is that Jim Butcher has said that he always envisioned the Dresden Files as comics or a cartoon series, kind of like superheroes, and Joss Whedon's whole thing is superheroes and comics and stuff. I think it would work. I think you'd get the snark.
I would 10 times rather have live action TV show.
You'd watch it. You would watch it. You may not like it, but you'd watch it.
I would watch it, but I mean, like, I would really much rather have it live action, and not have the showrunner from Charmed come in at the last second and be like, "Let's fuck this shit up."
Would you rather have Nicolas Cage be the executive producer or Joss
I would
Whedon?
take Cage. He might have stolen Dresden Files for the movie, but
he already
movie was pretty decent.
That's why I bring it up, right? Because wasn't he the executive producer of the show, the Dresden Files show? So
yeah, and then when that didn't work, he was like,
but at least he seemed like a genuine fan and like wanted to do it, and then it was the Charmed person who ruined it. So I don't think Nicolas Cage is really at fault there, not fully.
No, some Dresden fans has a problem because he basically ripped off the Dresden Files for his, but not really. It was the
Sorcerer's Apprentice.
Yeah. Like, it wasn't that much of a ripoff. The magic system wasn't that.
Look, if Dresden Files is a ripoff of Anita Blake, then Sorcerer's Apprentice his duster in his hat is totally a ripoff of the Dresden Files. So.
Oh, you mean the Harry copycat had a hat?
Right. Well, that's because that's how much of a fan he was that he looked at the cover and said, "I like that look," and copied it. That's I blame him for it.
I mean, how can you not like Joss Whedon, though? Just
didn't like Avengers, okay?
Like, I'm emotionally upset right now.
In general, I don't really like comic books or superheroes or comic book movies. I've enjoyed a few of them, but I just don't like the general tropes. And I don't want
what tropes
Dresden to be those tropes.
Yeah, tell me, because I'm like, really, Dresden Files doesn't fall into any of those tropes?
Oh my god, the world's gonna end.
Yeah, every fucking book.
Not fully entirely.
Okay.
Like, not changes.
Really? You know, the one
that was
the Red Court's world ended.
Yeah. Where it's going to wipe out, you know, the most powerful wizard in at least 2 generations. The Black Staff, the vampires weren't totally going to overrun the White Council and then turn everybody into...
It was a giant battle, but the world not exactly was going to be destroyed.
And then there's Ghost Story where, you know, the Corpse Taker wasn't going to totally do the Dark Hollow all over again.
There are books where there's the world ends
and then there's Cold Days where
there is. There's totally
unleash a 4th dimensional explosion on, you know, North America,
on the Great Lakes area, not the entire planet. That's my technicality. In Ghost Story, Harry's motivation was protecting 3 of his people. He didn't know that Papa Murphy had lied.
He didn't lie.
He didn't lie.
He lied by omission, maybe, but. And then there's Spin Game where Lord knows whatever Nicodemus wanted the artifacts for, and then that he was going to. So we're talking about Apocalypse one step removed at best, like.
Which is better than like
how much Apocalypse was
the universe is going to explode.
How much Apocalypse was going to happen in the one with the porn studio?
In the last 5 books, the only one that I can give you that there wasn't at least remotely related to something extremely bad, if not directly the Apocalypse, is Turncoat. Because Turncoat was about one man. But even Small Favor had to do with but Small Favor had to do with the archive, and like if she had gotten corrupted, that would have been really bad. So I'm not saying like it's necessarily like Independence Day and ships come down and every city lights on fire, but it was going to derail our world. Even changes.
And, I mean, that is still what the big apocalyptic trilogy is supposed to be about, and I will be very sure I enjoy that. I just get really tired of it done in comic books, in comic book movies.
Next trope, because you're wrong, but next trope. What's the next one you hate?
Did you know it was 7 years ago Turncoat came out?
Wow. 7? That was 2010?
Actually 8, 2009, sorry.
Wow.
Yeah, because Changes was 2010, wasn't it?
Changes. Well,
no, I thought it was supposed to take place on 2012. I did the math at one point. It's like, hey, was this supposed to line up with the Mayans, dying?
And I think that was one of those, like, that's weird. You know, like, I thought somebody's asked him that question, but...
And did he like, how dare you think of that?
Right. Often he just does that just because, like, I bet you sometimes it's just random, and he's like, that sounds good, I'm just going to play coy, and it's totally going to work.
I hope someday we get to see all his notes, and we find out all the things we were right and wrong about.
Yeah, and see which time's like, oh shit, you're too close, I have to change that.
So what's the next trope, Alex?
This isn't comic book podcast. This is the Dresden Files podcast.
But we're talking about what would make you hate it and stop reading it. So since you hate the superhero tropes, we're using it. So we'll do like 2 or 3. Come on.
What superhero trope do you not like?
Since you would hate if
the big cast of everyone that you can't really relate to. So it's like with Avengers, there's like, okay, there's Captain America, and then there's Thor, and then there's the Hulk, and then Iron Man, and there's other people, and then they all get in one group. It's like, oh my god, it's such a fantastic cast. It's going to be awesome, right? But the stories in between everything is just kind of lackluster because
you can't
there's not enough to go around.
You can't relate to being frozen in ice for 70 years. You can't relate to getting really big and green and smashing things. I don't even know you.
I don't ever get green, and I don't ever get big.
I'm not gonna say anything.
Right. I've seen
discretion
some of the
and valor, guys. Discretion and valor.
Right.
No, but I mean, in terms of that trope, like, you're supposed to get personal or build a relationship in terms of the movies, in the movies about the characters, and then there's this super team up where we're just supposed to have fun.
I don't care about Captain America or Iron Man, and I was really annoyed with how they did Thor. I just that movie was.
What's wrong with Thor?
It was just boring.
He's totally like comic book Thor.
You need to go see Ragnarok then. It'll get you.
We're friends from work.
Have you seen Guardians of the Galaxy?
I love Guardians of the Galaxy, actually.
Okay.
I saw the second movie, and it's like, it's okay. I kind of like the first one a little bit better. The crappy puppy is so cute, it makes me want to die. It was my favorite line ever.
Right. So my favorite, no spoilers, so don't fill in the rest of this quote and be like, is he cool? Yeah, he's cool. So that was my favorite line of the second movie. So
from Guardians of the Galaxy?
Yeah.
Okay, has everyone here watched the Guardians of the Galaxy?
It's still too early. It's
been
man.
Man, I'm just gonna. You've seen it, right, Justin?
Can we get back to Dresden now? I told you another trope. Let's get back to Dresden.
Okay, so she'll watch Dresden Files in space. Let's do it after the show.
Yeah, sure.
How would Dresden Files in space ever happen? Because he would ruin all the technology.
Because
you can't explain that one away.
Have you seen The Explorers?
Green Lantern, bro. He's got a magic ring that turns into a spaceship. Seriously. Harry's just, see, that's my thing with Harry. He's just not dedicated to it. He's a hammer. He's a magical hammer. He's not a magical handyman. Like, he does some neat things. Like, you've got the whole Blood Rights where he does, like, the stuff all around the studio and whatever. But then it's like, oh, man, I made it out of chalk, so, like, some bimbo can screw it all up. Whereas, like, that's why I'm like, if I could make 3 inches of fire, I would figure that out. Like, so I will make a spaceship.
Hannah Asher, that's her name, right? From Skin Games.
Right.
Yeah.
What about her?
Her way of doing circles was like pretty neat. Like that spray on plastic
just
thing.
Burning them? Oh yeah.
No, she does the spray plastic thing. I was like, oh, that's smart.
It really was, yeah.
Yeah. It doesn't get disrupted easily, but you can disrupt it. Like, you can just poke at the plastic, but it's not like a chalk where you can just like almost, and then it's gone.
Right. Well, and plastic and pyromancer, she could just light the damn thing on fire, so, or melt it or something.
Yeah.
Someone else needs to be attacked because I've been attacked for the past 15 minutes.
Do me! Do me!
Okay. Say something stupid.
I've been talking for like half an hour. You're telling me I haven't said something stupid in half an hour?
I don't know. Can you quote the other Alex, Justin?
I think.
What if Harry treated women like they were supposed to be treated? Wait.
Yeah, should we white knight him? Anyway, well, he kind of is, but anyway. I mean, we could go back on the Molly and Harry train. So let's see.
Yeah, I can sit on that one forever.
Molly and Harry are going to have kids, but we're gonna miss how the first part of the relationship goes because it happened off screen in between Skin Game and Peace Talks. Totally, I'm calling it now.
So
I could do stupid.
so somehow the whole build-up with Harry and Murphy finally getting together, like really, like starting a relationship.
Fruition.
And then it's just like between the books didn't happen. Maggie's now his his wife.
Because Molly squishes her.
That I like about that is that it would make Ramirez really angry that the girl he tried to get with is now banging his friend.
Did you read Cold Case?
I was gonna say, like, you read the books, right?
Yeah, but like that anger between Ramirez and Dresden would actually be a little fun.
I just think Ramirez would be like, dude, you don't know what you're doing, you know.
But the thing is isn't the Winter Knight capable of doing the lady?
Shut up.
Doubt it.
Nobody knows.
We don't know.
Spoilers again, but yeah, like, I mean, that's the thing. I'm a double down on it because I think it's more interesting this way, and we don't have too much evidence either way. But the whole every time one of the she gets it on, you get a kid, and since the knights are technically mortals, I think it would still count. So, which makes the whole Lily Fix thing even more tragic because she was a total supermodel and he was literally a knight, and they still never did it. Like, wait till he's all fucked up from that. So,
like he isn't already.
Right. Just saying.
But I mean,
I'm against it just in general. That's what Alex wants, principles.
But if you really go hard with the every single time makes a baby, then how many babies does Mab have with Slate?
Yes.
Well, but she didn't ever do it with him, right?
Yes, she did.
Well, you're saying Maeve, right?
No, Mab.
Say yes, she did. It's
Mab.
Mab didn't bang him.
Yes, she did.
No.
Like, she takes him to her bower.
Yeah, that right there, that line. She takes him to the bower.
Mm-hmm.
She makes him love her.
She nurses him back to health.
And you think she didn't do that?
You're banging a gangrenous corpse? Like, not even Mab's that fucked. Come on.
They didn't have sex.
She heals him first. Just like she did Harry.
No. And then she does the extreme torture, and then she does the extreme fun, and that's how he went insane.
Yeah.
And also, I just don't think Dresden ever should get any more babies. She's cap off at 2. No more babies. It's kind of becoming a repetitive thing.
Nope. Every book from now until the apocalypse, he has a baby. So he's going to have
okay
and actually,
with every.
I mean, we need an army for the apocalypse, right?
I was going to say, wasn't that one of my jokes like a half a dozen, 2 dozen episodes ago where it was like Team Dresden Mark II is going to be every Dresden's kid because he's got the spirit of intellect. He's got Maggie Jr. He's got the next one, and then Thomas's baby kid.
Okay, with every book having a baby as long as they're not Harry's babies. That's where I get annoyed with the Harry keep having babies, but Billy and Georgia are having a baby. They had a baby. She's probably a toddler by now, and Thomas is going to have one, and then okay, I'd be okay with that.
Who's going to have a baby next? After Thomas.
This is where Alex says Murphy, right?
Yeah, Murphy. That's my vote.
Alex wouldn't say Murphy. Alex,
it's got to be a baby reveal that we get in Mirror Mirror, so maybe it's alternative Maggie.
Maybe.
Got you thinking.
But
because I'm excited at the prospect that we're gonna see Susan again, because I think he chooses Susan as the difference in his choice, and so that would be cool to see like an evil Maggie in a way, but she's still not quite old enough. Like she'd only be like 10, right? Somewhere in there. So
she would be,
because I thought in Skin Game she was like 9.
She'd be closer to like 13, I think, because she's 10 in Skin Game.
tropes. Sorry.
Oh, okay. So maybe 12-ish, but still, I don't necessarily want to see like the 12-year-old be a dark sorceress, but maybe you'd see her be like a half vampiress or something. I don't know. I see. That's the other thing. Like, do Red Court follow the like vampires never age thing, or do they mature and then, whatever? So
the Red Court, I don't think it matters because they can create the skin the way they want.
Yeah,
No, but it's
I'm not sure what your
fair.
question is, Justin. I mean, like, what's your question?
Well,
exactly.
so like Interview with a Vampire, right? You get the baby vampire because she was like 8 when she was turned. So like, we have also never seen Red Court have kids technically. So maybe
we've only seen the half vampire have kids.
Right. So maybe
yes.
they can't have kids, and that kind of solves the problem.
I would guess so.
But
it's the same as to why White Court their demon don't come out until they're like sexually mature or something. It's because otherwise it would be really weird.
yes. So I mean, in as many words, yes.
Well, I mean, there's also the whole kids don't have the, I guess, discipline. I mean, there's lots of authors out there that have touched on that, like even Anita Blake and Twilight too. Anita Blake, the vampires there would destroy the kid and whoever made them because.
I thought of something that would piss people off is if Thomas started sparkling.
There's in the Reddit there's a post.
Sparkles, basically.
In the Reddit, there's a post about that where it'd be funny if like Maggie's playing with glitter and does something and it showers all over Thomas, and Harry makes a Twilight joke.
Yeah, that'd be funny.
Awesome.
Only because Jim could prove to me that the books where Thomas is introduced predates Twilight. Otherwise, I was like, that's the Twilight trope. That's why it's there. But it's actually the sexy vampire Diaries.
Vampire Diaries.
the one with Tom Cruise.
Right.
Interview with the Vampire.
Yeah,
Interview
that's
the
the Vampire Chronicles from what she called them, though, right? So
yeah.
But
up to book 3, they're pretty good. Then I kind of dropped off. Like Queen of the Damned was decent.
I've read like Interview with the Vampire, Vampire Lestat, and like the Queen of the Damned, like the introduction of it, sort of, or like the whatever, nothing happening yet lasted too damn long, so I never got through it.
Queen of the Damned is like the ending of the story of the Vampire Lestat.
I know, but
it's like two
book
books, one story.
Boring enough, I didn't finish it. Bad writing will make you stop reading. So if Jim has a stroke and he can't write good anymore, might have to stop reading.
Can't write.
There we go. The ultimate question for today's episode is answered.
Don't die, because it'll be sad.
Don't Game of Thrones me where I have to be worried for your health because I want the story. Like, just please.
How long has it been since the last Game of Thrones book?
Something like
7 or 8
15 years.
Oh wait.
No.
I thought it was measured
did come out.
decades.
And like
one came out while the show was going, and then he was supposed to finish the other one, and the one he's working on now, before they caught up to him, and he didn't.
So was it maybe the second and third book or whatever that like there was a span of decades at one point, wasn't there?
I think it was the book 3 and 4 was like 15 to 20 years.
Oh wow. Yeah, let's not do that.
First published book was 1996. Let's see. Let's just see easily like when they were published. Yeah, here I can. Game of Thrones 1996, A Clash of Kings 1988, A Storm of Swords 2000, A Feast of Crows 2005, A Dance with Dragons 2011. So they're like started being 5 or 6 years apart.
88 to 96.
I'm seeing a pattern here.
Yeah. Well, so that's
I have a
still
morbid thought, though.
only 8 years.
Oh man, Jim, don't do it to me.
Robert Jordan
Don't do it.
wrote Wheel of Time, and he said
that
he would never ever let anyone else finish it. But what if Sanderson took over? We'd get a book every year.
we get a book a week until he's done. So
Sanderson would just sit down with Jim's notes and be like, okay, let's do this. 2 weeks later, he's done.
On the
And
other
then
side, there would be
Lucio
no more
swings.
cussing, no more sex scenes, and the descriptions would get a little wonky.
Mistborns are very good books. That's all I know about Sanderson. I really enjoy those.
Stormlight Archive is also really good, but he still has his problems.
See, I haven't read any of his other than when he finished Wheel of Time, and I think it was Braveheart or something like that. The superhero one.
Steelheart?
That one, yes. I knew it had heart in the name somewhere.
I can highly recommend the Mistborn if you like Dresden Files. They're kind of like not exactly contemporary. It's more, but it is very urban in its nature.
They're on my list. It's just far down the list.
Yeah.
Shall we end on that morbid thought of if Sanderson took over the confliction that leaves us?
Jim, just give me a book, man. Just give me
Look
3 years.
If you die, I'm going to put your brain in a jar, and we're going to figure that out, all right? So don't do it.
It's like,
knock on all the wood.
I know a lot of stuff happened. I was going to speak directly to
Alex isn't here, so you guys got to help me plug everything else.
We do things and stuff. BrokenJars.xyz. And then we do other fun podcasts like High Fantasy and
which this topic was a direct ripoff of.
Woo! And
this episode will get more views than all your High Fantasy episodes.
I'm sure it's totally a coincidence that you host.
You're so mean to me today, Andreas.
So what else? We do Great Scott, right? Is that going on or is that on hiatus?
Yep.
It's going on.
No, it's still going.
What's the other?
Dangerous to Go Alone is going. We do things.
There are other things.
Go to brokenjars.xyz. That's why we have a website, so we don't have to remember shit. So
they will yell at me if I don't do the plugging. But also, if you want a sticker, pay us $3 and we'll send you one.
Yeah, and patreon.com/brokenjars. You can pay to get access to our Discord. If you want.
And there's like 2 tiers.
Mostly, you can see the general chat where we all make fun of Alex, the other Alex. And you can join in.
Dang. My $2 will be in the mail.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
wow, rough.
Then there's also like for $8 a month, we'll send you like a 30-second recording of almost anything that you want. I say almost because
I was like, I missed that one apparently. So
and for like $20 a month, we'll let you see like what we call the deleted scenes of like the post-production and pre-production, like the brackets beyond the actual recording, and you want to see us fight about all sorts of stuff.
That's where we really rinse each other.
Yeah. All right. I think that's everything plugged, and if not, I'm going to blame you too. Thomas, do you have anything to plug?
Nothing relevant, no.
Well, thank you for joining us.
I mean, I've got stuff I can plug all day long, but it's not relevant to... Well, I guess one of them would be relevant, but it's not mine.
Oh, do it.
Okay. There's a fan fiction thing where a guy is doing the Mirror version of Dresden leading up to Mirror. Like he starts at Grave Peril, and it goes with what he thinks that one choice was, and then goes with the rest of the books, like following the general storyline, but with the slightly left-hand path Harry going up to the goatee and waxed mustache.
How do we find this? Yeah.
Oh, it's fanfiction.net, I think it is. And the dude's name is Griffin something another, like Gryfon.
Well, duh.
Or FIN.
Because
I have to look up the thing. Hang on.
We can link it on the Reddit post.
Yeah, we'll just link it.
Okay, yeah. I'll get you the link to it.
Sweet.
And anyone can check that out, and I'll also tweet the Reddit post so if you can find it, blah, 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 because at Dresden Cast, if you don't know that already,